upload for the rest of the week. And as many of you noticed, my videos seem to be ending abruptly, or there's content missing in the videos. So I did reach out to YouTube technical support, and it seems like they are familiar with the issue, that there are a couple content creators reporting that as they're uploading the video to YouTube, errors are occurring. So I do have some pretty big videos I want to drop this month, and I want to make sure that these errors are resolved before I upload these videos. The only reason why I'm even uploading or creating a video today happens to be because I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, and even talking about this will get me that blue bar fact check, and you will see that fact checking blue bar below this video. I guarantee it's probably there. But what I want to talk about in today's video has to do with reptilians, reptoids, shape-shifting humanoids. Now, I strongly believe that reptilians do exist. As I said in other videos, I do believe that entities do exist. Higher and lower dimensional entities and certain cryptids do exist. I don't know how long many of you have been subscribed to me, but even before I was talking about true crime, some of my very first videos had to do with cryptids and shadow people, because I find the topic to be just so interesting. Shadow people and other cryptids are spoken about throughout history, but there's something different about reptilians. You'll find that many cultures worshipped snake-like people and serpent-like deities.
What the hell? Yes. Bonjour. Bonjour, girl. It must be cold out there. I don't know why that video just cut off.
It was released on November 1st, 2018. They did it on nocturnal mammals. They used 1G, 2G, and 3G phones. Okay? This is way before 5G. In those animals, they found humongous problems. You can look this study up on the internet. Every G causes a different resonance problem. Like 1G isn't equivalent to 5. 4 isn't equivalent to 5.
And you mean like different tuning fork issue?
Correct. Certain people have different mitochondrial haplotypes. We also have different skin types. Every single screen. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself why we need Dan Huber's glasses? Because they have found through the programs that the government sponsored, at Tulane Neurosurgery and Neurology, it's called MK Ultra, that they were able to control people through light waves, wires in their head, to figure out how they can control the behavior as monkeys. That's actually was done in a place close to where I went to medical school. I knew about all of these studies.
So we can be controlled by light waves?
No, not we can. We are.
We are.
Okay? Update your knowledge base. Why does every computer have a blue light screen? Why doesn't it come pre-loaded with Flux or Iris? Well, there's a reason for that. Do you know what the reason is? Because the blue light lowers your dopamine and melatonin level so that you become addicted. Who got that information first? Was it the CIA through the MK Ultra program? No, it wasn't. It was the mafia. You know how they got it? It's how they build Las Vegas. They put a city in a desert, in a geopathic stress zone, has shitty water, shitty magnetism, a great light. And then what they do, they put casinos out there, blocked all the light, and put one-armed bandits in there that made nothing but blue light. You know what the mafia found out by doing that? They didn't have to use a gun to stick you up to steal your money. Then they got even smarter. Then they started getting really pretty girls deliver you alcohol drinks for free. So dopamine levels fell sooner. You gave them your money faster. But, hey, can we somehow stop putting the wires in the monkey's head and maybe think about how to do this differently? Because you know that wires in the head deliver electricity, brain works on a DC electric current. That should mean that it must work on light at some level. Well, along comes the people in Silicon Valley in the 50s and 60s, and we got semiconductors. What do we know about semiconductors? When you put electric into it, it makes what? LED. What does LED stand for? A light-emitting diode. That's kind of interesting. So when you see the science developing all at the same time, and you realize the criminals were smarter than the centralized doctors. Didn't I tell you that story about the Colombian drug cartel? Isn't this funny how the same thing is happening again? So a guy named Delgado, who was a PhD researcher, he went down to Mexico, where you took your mom, and he put the wires directly into the bull's head and put the guy in there,
For the dog
and they
park?
had a remote
It's going to the
controller,
airport.
and they stopped the bull right away from running in to the guy
Just cooked hamburgers.
electrically. So then the next part of the experiment was let's
Without
take
electrocution,
three
just
hamburgers?
No,
electric
you're not going to get
waves.
electrocuted. It's just electricity.
Yeah.
You modulate the frequency. Look, it's just like neutron shades you have in your house. You turn it up and down, the light goes up and down. Same thing with these controllers. So the next step in their program was let's get rid of the wires. Let's just put a microchip.
I hear you, man. It looks like.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, but I mean, listen, I don't.
Y'all take a drink. Gatorade. Lime.
Ever get those points across without one calling people brain damage and then just yelling at a woman
No,
asking
because
questions?
it's been now 9 years.
It's
and
weird
if they
that
don't
you're
understand by now,
so
you are
you want to
brain
call
damaged.
okay.
If people don't understand Trump after 9
treat
years.
women like that?
I knew him. I knew him before. You know what? I was with him at a party at Bulgari. You know what?
Sure, yeah.
And he was there on top of her in the corner. There's a vitrine. There's a stairway. There's Boy George playing records. Here's the wall. I'm crowded in there. He's leaning in on this girl, going hitting her, and then finally.
Did you help?
No, I didn't.
So you saw this happening and you did not help.
No, she's with his bodyguard.
Why didn't
He's with
you help
his
her?
bodyguard. His bodyguard is
Why
here
didn't
like
you
this.
help?
Because his bodyguard is right there
If this
playing
is
games.
really happening,
And this is before, yes.
then why didn't you help?
I didn't have to help. It was with the bodyguard in a public party, in a private party.
Did you report it?
I didn't need to. He self-reports.
Did you report it?
I didn't need to. He's there on
You
top
saw
of like
this
He
assault
wasn't molesting
happening
her.
and
He
you
was-
didn't report it and you didn't help her?
I'm telling you what happened. He was on top of her like this, hitting her. I couldn't move anywhere. It was very hard. She's got the bodyguard here. And then he goes like this. He plays one of these games. Oh, well, okay, if you don't want to go out, let's say, here, give me your, I'll give you my card. He goes like this and brings up his card.
You hang out with people like Trump.
No, I hung out with people at Bulgar, but he drops his hand, and the guard and his bodyguard gives him like he's so smooth. He's such a smooth clown.
Yeah, so are you.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Hey, you know what? I was born in Queens just like him.
Congratulations.
I have.
You are a
I
lot
have-
like
I have-
him.
I
You
have a
keep
place-
talking about what you have in
I
similar with
let's go,
Donald
let's go.
Trump.
I have a real estate and.
Do you want to be like him? Because you're comparing you guys. You're really obsessed with being like him.
You want to take me? I'll tell you. I was born in Queens. I have real estate. I'm in real estate development. I went to an Ivy League school. I've been married to foreign women. Okay. I have a place down here in Florida, real estate. You know what? I've been successful
you want to
at
be
it.
Donald
I've been
Trump.
successful at it.
Okay,
I
this
didn't
guy
lose
just wants to
$400
be
million.
Donald Trump.
I didn't
He's
bill
upset that he
30,000
didn't get the
I
stuff
don't have
Donald Trump
lawsuit
has.
after lawsuit against me. He's got thousands of lawsuits, like 3,000 lawsuits against him. Either he brought on or brought him. I don't have any of that. I can sleep at night. Whereas that asshole.
All I asked for was one accomplishment of Kamala Harris during her 3.5-year term as vice president.
I don't know what you're proving except for your own ignorance.
I know. I'm the only one that looks ignorant here. Yeah.
If you need to heat up water or soup or other something, power outage, put the tea lights in the muffin pan. You got your own stove. Oh, look at that. What about grilling hamburgers and stuff? It was cold outside. That was snow.
Mentioned that the corrupt state of New York, using the Department of Environmental Conservation, killed poor Peanut the squirrel as well as his little buddy Fred the raccoon. They hunted them down and killed them like dogs in their own home. And what was their crime other than being different? Very sad. Peanut will
I'm
never...
doing the damn AI shit.
We have the state of California, which is a subcorporation of the U.S. corporation, and we have the California Republic. But do you think the dragon, the Satanists, would keep the capital in the same place? Every single state moved its capital. The capital of Utah is not Salt Lake City, it's Fillmore. The capital of California is not Sacramento, it's Los Angeles.
Thank you, ma'am.
The capital of Idaho is Lewiston. These Satanists, they're so afraid they have to have a whole different building, move it to a whole different city. And just to make sure you guys don't put your name correctly, so you might have your judicial common law rights back, they'll ask you to put your last name first on every application. Back to my IRS letter. As a fiduciary officer, if you move forth today in violation of the 7th Amendment, this letter is being sent to you to prove with full knowledge and intent you deliberately violated your oath of office pursuant to the 7th Amendment, creating a deprivation against me. If you want to sue them in common law, that's not allowed. A guy tried, he sued them pursuant to common law, and the Supreme Court decided it was allowed. But they couldn't call it a common law trial, and they couldn't tell you it was anti-statutory, so they called it a Bivens action. Named it after the guy that did it. Got to keep you guys in total confusion here. The definition of liberty is the right to do whatever you want if you don't violate somebody else. The definition of the common law is a law that you don't have a crime unless you injure somebody else. Notice the similarity between the word liberty and common law? They're the same. A republic is a country that has common law. If you have a statutory law, you're not a republic, you're a democracy. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Did it say statutory liberty? Statutory liberty is liberty from Satan. But we're going to put up a big statute in your harbor up on the ocean, and we're going to call it the Statute of Liberty. She's really the Colossus of Rhodes, which is the lawmaker of the sun god Ra. And you can all end your prayers in amen, which happened to be Ra's first name, Amen-Ra. You all assume that when you pray to God and say amen, you're praying to the Creator God. You assume the word Lord carved on your temples means the Creator Lord.
Thank you, ma'am.
Not.
And that's Mr. Punk Girl. You better get it right.
You assume the United States is the United States of America. So if a U.S. citizen is somebody who lives in the 10-mile square, and a citizen of the United States of America is somebody who lives outside the 10-mile square, what's a U.S. citizen? Well, that's somebody who lives in the piece of paper. That's somebody who's got a phony-ass corporate contract. I don't like it. The 14th Amendment says you won't question the debt. Picking on the tobacco companies. They got a good lawyer. Made some good arguments showing that the 10-mile square is the only place they had jurisdiction. Now they're backing off on the tobacco. I got a copy of that lawsuit. Went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the media never talked about it. When I joined the U.S. Navy, my name was capital D, small a, small v, small I, small d, capital R, small O, small L, small a, small n, small d. What the heck for? I asked, why is my last name all capped and the rest not? I stopped, and I'm too stupid. I wanted to know why. We go to the post office. You know, the post office used to be called the Postal Service of the United States of America. The U.S. Navy was the Naval Forces of the United States of America. Citizenship comes from the word territory. If I'm a citizen of the United States, that means I live in the 10-mile square. If I'm a citizen of the United States of America, according to the, and I've read back Supreme Court rulings that go back to day one, that's a citizen who might live in Alabama. The of America denotes you reside outside of the 10-mile square.
What they got going on in the news today? Let's see. This yesterday, liberal data analyst Nate Silver says Trump favored to win. Accuses pollsters of putting finger on the scale to make elections seem closer than it is. But we know that from the turnouts. 4 Georgia counties decided last minute to set ballots over the weekend in violation of the law. Used to allow Republican poll watchers to observe the process. We've got a bunch of crooks here in Georgia. Oh, Walls is guilty of killing people at nursing homes, just like Cuomo and Whitmer, Fox. France on the edge due to drug-related violence as 400 gang members clash in Pointers after shootout. Thought they had a gun law over there. Them guys don't look French to me. Yeah, they don't look like the French people to me. Looks like some invaders. Trump's supposed to be holding 3 rallies a day and 4 tomorrow. 11-3, 11-4. New York Times, the government funded censorship outlet Target Gateway funded with 5 hit pieces of ridiculous reports in 1 week. Election week isn't even here yet. Her father's daughter, Donald Harris, hidden influence on Kamala. Tim Wall's out there walking around like a gay guy. Mark Hoffman says sources tell him Kamala Harris unlikely to win Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, plus struggling Wisconsin. Ain't them the swing states? Texas police search for possible suspect who wore a Michael Myers mask near fatal shooting spree. They're saying that Peanut, the squirrel that got killed, they're saying that's calm for Jimmy Carter might be no longer with us. Because Carter's the Peanut Man.
Kamala Harris ditched the campaign trail and popped up on Saturday Night Live. But there's 3 things about this surprise appearance that are totally bonkers. Seriously, the third one I will never understand. Number 1, everybody who saw it was quick to point out that the skit between Maya Rudolph and Kamala Harris, where Kamala was basically talking to herself in a mirror, was a direct ripoff of Jimmy Fallon and Donald Trump, who sat and talked to each other in the same exact mirror back in 2015. So if you're keeping track, Kamala Harris has now stolen No Tax on Tips and Donald Trump's SNL skit. Number 2. Creator and longtime producer of SNL, Lorne Michaels, pledged in October of this year.
And why he does things like a gay guy? Because he's gay.
Their candidate would appear on SNL. See, look, SNL bans Harris and Trump cameos not to run afoul of election laws. In fact, in this article, he's quoted as saying, "You can't bring the actual people who are running on because of election laws and the equal time provisions." I don't know who's gonna tell him, because one of these people is actually running for president. Did Lorne Michaels just break election laws? And if so, doesn't that make Kamala Harris a co-conspirator?
She's a crook.
And number 3, this cold opening segment that Kamala Harris did with Maya Rudolph, which, by the way, I think Maya Rudolph is a way better Kamala than Kamala is. But this whole segment lasted about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Joe Rogan has been trying to offer Kamala Harris at least 2 hours of uninterrupted one-on-one time to talk about her campaign, her agenda, and her plan for the future. And she declined. 2 hours on Joe Rogan or 2 minutes on Saturday Night Live. It was an interesting choice, but again, Kamala Harris is known for making interesting choices.
Time to fight is now. Good versus evil. Humanity is at stake. Drop the beam. Silent majority no more. Be loud. You have a voice. Are you registered? Vote them all out. Prepare Red October. That's November, man.
Mr. Trump, sir. I feel like you are weighing a lot right now. And I don't know that you'll ever see this, but it's time. And I know that question's on your mind right now. It's time. God bless you, sir. Godspeed. We the people are with you.
Wow, it's just like Paul used to have, right? Oh, you had this when you were like 20 years old, right? Beautiful. Yeah. You had this one of the next door neighbors? I don't know whose car it is. You know? Oh, I think it's open. Beautiful. It's open. Oh, maybe. Man, look at this car. Yeah, look. Oh, look, maybe the keys are up there. Why would the guy leave the keys there? This car is sick. Man. Look, the keys are up there. Whose car is it? You said that you had this car when you were 20 years old. You've been talking about it for the last 30 years. Happy birthday. Get out of here. Happy birthday. You're kind of your wife. No,
that's a gas guzzling boat battleship right there.
It's yours. It's yours. Go. Take the top. Start it up. Start it up. No. Start it up. I can't take this. Start it up. Oh, no. Start it up. Start it up. Oh. Start it up. Oh, man. There it is. See if the top works.
Yeah, that's a boat. Oh, there's a convertible.
That's your new Cadillac. Well, your old new Cadillac.
He's gone, Vegas.
Right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
So you haven't sat there and I'm just trying to work that out.
Gotcha, bitch.
Ha, gotcha.
You have got me. I'm trying to work that through in my
Yeah,
head.
you can't really do it when you turn their liberal logic around on them. And then they realize how retarded they fucking are. Mysterious shop hasn't changed anything in 2 decades. Who owns these random places that don't do any business? Probably the CIA. John Podesta and Tony Podesta. This is a police sketch of men wanted in abduction of Madeleine McCain. I would say that's I would bring him in for question.
In the New York Times Magazine not too long ago, it was about how the elephants in Africa are going mad.
They're going batshit crazy mad over in Africa. Knick-knack, paddywhack, get a dog a bone.
Rhinoceroses, killing people.
Midlife crisis car. No, he should have got him a Porsche or something. Something to pick up the ladies. What are you picking them up with, Jamie? Volkswagen Beetle, Super Beetle.
People attacking one another, stampeding without provocation. These intelligent, sensitive.
You want to pick up a girl? It don't matter what you got. Pull up at the bus stop. Say, hey, baby, you want to ride with me? She'd much rather ride with you than get on the bus.
Giants have become very, very disturbed. The cause, they believe, is overwhelming, unrelenting trauma, stress. Be it poachers shooting at them and their families, or land development squeezing and destroying their habitats. Profound and irreversible changes to everything they know about their world, everything about what it means to be an elephant, and it's driving them mad. Elephants aren't being elephants anymore. Up is suddenly down. That's what New Orleans was like.
Is that William
During
Shatner?
and in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, up suddenly became down, it was up. This wasn't the United States of America that week. It wasn't third world. It was utter chaos. The set of norms and logic that we apply to everyday life were gone, and everything was wrong. A friend of mine told me that when he was finally able to get out of the city 3 days after the hurricane, he drove by a body lying on the sidewalk right up the road here, a body of a man partially clothed being eaten by an alligator. And my friend wasn't sure. He wasn't even surprised. He was just fleeing. This was not the United States of America, nor any place else for that matter. During that horrendous week, the United States of America was nowhere to be found. My client, Dr. Follett, was to be found. She was there when the storm hit and when the devastating effects started to become clear, and then dire, and then desperate. She stayed. Even when so many others around her were leaving, she stayed with those 5 patients, each facing an inevitable, imminent, and excruciating death, surrounded by pain and suffering and degradation unfathomable to those of us who were not there. She stayed and helped and cared and watched as those 5 patients slipped quietly into the good night in a setting that was punishing, cruel, and unusual. Her actions were humane. Like those elephants in Africa, so many people during that terrible time of chaos and desperation seemed to lose themselves, seemed to lose their innate sense of humanity. Dr. Follett never did. She never did.
Got the whole courthouse crying. I don't even know what show that is. Peanut the Squirrel Killer is a Monica Kessler. Breaking update.
Angry Americans.
The lady from Texas was calling in saying, "Hey, y'all need to go get that squirrel out of people's house." And they went and snatched Peanut out of the loving arms of the people that saved him. His mama was crossing the street. He was on her back. And there was a car barrel probably driven by an illegal. Flying down the road drunk. Swerving all over the place. And she screamed, "Ah!" and got run over and killed. Peanut got flipped in the air. Back leg was twisted. And that good Samaritan picked him up and took him home. Took him home to raise. Bringing him on, put him on he was on a deathbed. Brought him back from the deathbed by feeding him, what are they feeding him, Jamie? Peanut butter. Peanut butter sandwiches. Because they got a lot of protein in the peanut butter. And treated him like one of his own. He didn't treat him like an adopted kid. Treated him like one of his own. Got him his own cowboy hat. Peanut was a sensation. And they come in and he was screaming. Peanut was screaming, "Ah, don't take me." And reaching out for his daddy. When the cops come in and took him out of there and put him in a gas chamber and euthanized him. And a raccoon too. I think the raccoon's name was Fred.
Before we get to the main video, this is an update video to the largest story in the country.
Boom, man!
New York Democrats just killed Peanut the Squirrel.
Kill Peanut the Squirrel, them damn Democrat commie sons of bitches.
If you need context, somehow you missed the largest story in the country, go back and watch my last video. I'll have it linked in the description. I'll have it linked at the end. It's got interviews with the owners of the...
Tommy, where's my calamari at, Tommy? Tommy, calamari!
The squirrel, it lays it all out there for you. It's all in there.
With ranch.
Let's get to the update. This video is about this creepy Karen Leftard, who's responsible for the death of Peanut the Squirrel.
She's took down all her social media now.
Let's get right to it. Well, looky here. Angry Americans, check this out. You'll want to see the... Come here, check this out. You'll want to see this. Look what the internet dug up. Monica Kiesler is the one who called in the complaint about Peanut the Squirrel. She has now deleted all of her social media. Make her, says famous, I say she's infamous at this point, and you're going to help do that. Stop right now. Share the video. That's what you have to do. Like the video and share the video.
Like the video and share.
At the end of the video, you comment down below.
I can't believe they killed Peanut.
That's how we get the word out. Monica Kiesler.
Some supermarkets start limiting their amount of food purchases, in this case, tuna.
Packs of 4 packs, right? She runs through 3 of them and says, "Oh, you're not allowed to have the 4th because you've had too much tuna." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's strange." I says, "What's this then? I'm not allowed to just order." You got loads of tuna back there. It's not like you got a shortage or something. I says, "But okay, no worries, I get it. This is the 2030 agenda coming through." And she went and laughed. Yeah. Then this came through the till. Yeah, which is a completely different dish, and she says it won't let you have these because they've also got tuna in, and because you've already had your allowance in tuna, you're not allowed to have this product as well. She had to call the manager over because I moaned and said a completely different product. I can understand if you want to keep a shortage going off these. I said, but that's nothing to do with this. I says, what you're doing there is calculating all my food and ingredients across the whole board. I says, what's all that about? So the manager passed it through. But that's them showing you it's coming and it's set up and their tills are ready for it, folks. They're going to do this agenda where you're not allowed to have this much meat, you're only allowed a certain amount of weight per month. It's coming, trust me. This is your
Hunger
Games
experience.
Go back to what Dan said about Jewish supremacy thing, because I don't think there's a better example than AIPAC. Yeah. If you talk about the
AIPAC is a foreign adversary in this country, and all our congressmen has got one, should be drug out of office. Get out.
Party AIPAC is the example of corrupt uniparty politics. If you're the Republican Party right now, how do you associate with a PAC that funds politicians who espouse a radical Democrat agenda? That means either A, you don't really think the Democrat agenda is so radical, or the money you're getting is so good you don't really care.
Hell yeah, I'm a Kamala supporter. Because you know what she does. I'm in favor of what she does. How she got that high office.
It shows you.
She's got some wrinkles on her now, Jamie. Would you let her do it? Oh, yeah.
At the Republican-Democrat thing that they play out in the mainstream media is all WWE. When you go back behind closed doors.
Exactly. It's all a fucking distraction. That's the problem.
Yes.
And people don't want to talk about what the real problem is.
Click the thumbs up over there, people.
This distraction because the left is so fucking crazy and because their talking points are so nonsensical. It's like that's being pushed on them by the media. Okay, why is the media pushing that? You know what I mean? Nobody like really digs deep into the crux of the issue here. And I think that's the problem. Is everybody's just like, oh, right, left, and it's like, to your point, when fucking there's an Israel issue, every single one of them, right, left, or fucking center, whatever, every single one of them does that fucking tweet supporting Israel. We condemn this, we condemn that, you know, we stand with Israel. And why is that the one unifying issue? Maybe because that's the one place that's controlling all these motherfuckers.
Tommy, go over to YouTube. Smell off your hands and out of your car.
For my ex, you can keep that nigga. 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 Fuck that nigga, he ain't got no motion. Dang his money on the ground.
Somebody done stole her weed. Here comes the U.S. government yet again, taking someone's pet squirrel. This couple saved this squirrel and was also reported by someone online, just like with Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon. The owners cry and plead for the government not to take him. We did save him.
Stop.
Get off my porch, bitch.
No, I'm not gonna stop because there's no good reason for it.
It's okay. Many times this happens with deer.
He's got a ponytail.
The squirrel is some dumbass online turned us into wildlife.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't got no squirrel in here.
We did save it. Excuse me. These people are here to take our squirrel.
Well, you ain't getting him. Don't let him in the door.
So, and I'd like you to meet Shelly. I'm talking too much. This is Shelly.
Hi there. Thank you.
You say you love RSBN, is that what you said?
Yes. Yes.
You'd love to hear that.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you said this is your 103rd Trump rally? Are there any that stand out above others, perhaps?
Yeah.
Pick a thumb.
Would you like to share?
September 3rd, 2020.
Jose Pimpin.
That one's obviously the first.
1213.
Any others, though?
The Bronx.
See you, Jose. Stop pimping.
I passed out almost. Yeah, but it was a turning.
Stop pimping, Jose. Things humans were never meant to see. Scotland patriots surround a small group of Palestinian protesters and sing "Rule Britannia" in their faces. Dun, 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 dun. I didn't know what that song was. This "Rule Britannia." U.S. has no functional president, has not had one for months, and is barely noticeable and barely matters because there's a permanent, unelected machine that runs the government. Glenn Greenwald. 19-year-old son was a really diplomat. Never hurt your mother. Never hurt your mother.
Anger. Never abandon her. Remember, she is the only one who loved you before you even took your first breath. She carried you for months, felt your every move, and endured pain just to bring you into this world. Can you imagine that? The depth of that love? She sacrificed her dreams so you could pursue yours. But let me ask you, have you ever looked into her eyes and seen the silent prayers, the unspoken worries? Have you ever realized that every wrinkle on her face is a testament to the battles she fought for you? Never forget. She is more than the person who gave you life. She is the guardian of your soul, the keeper of your secrets, your anchor in this chaotic world. Make her happy, cherish her, for in her heart lies the purest form of love you will ever know. If you agree with me, write yes in the comments.
That wasn't even Trump. It's snowing in Saudi Arabia. How often does that happen? All the time. Saudi Arabia is a big ski resort now.
لعمل 446 في نوفمبر 20.
They ain't doing nothing to the weather though.
ما شاء الله تبارك الله. اليوم السبت 30/4
Hell no, I ain't supporting Kamala. You think I'm not crazy? Jose Pimpin.
2 نوفمبر 2024.
Do you think I'm crazy, Jose Pimpin? Has not gotten me sit down.
Wait. No, wait. Are you doing it? Okay.
Put some pants on, girl.
He's so impatient. Wait.
You let your girlfriend go out in shorts like that? Where you going to? Store. Going in there, store. Better take your ass in there and put some clothes on.
Wait.
Or.
Okay. No, you gotta do it on your own, okay? Yeah. Come.
Turn a little bit so we can see your butt crack.
Hey, sit.
Yep, just walking on the camera with your butt hanging all out like that. Oh, JFK, Kennedy said when he gets in charge of he's going to make taking the fluoride out of the water and stuff. Peanut right there. Fire. Oh. You got a toboggan on.
I called my brother from the back of that plane. The second I made it, we started drinking on the strip in LA. And then it got crazy.
They done turned Peanut into a hero. Maybe if my daughter was a squirrel, Elon Musk would share one of my posts. My little girl was murdered on November 9th, 2022 by Pfizer C-19 injection batch FN2908.
You know flying to the moon? Flying to the moon? Yes.
Uh-oh, he's been the same. Karaoke night. Let me play among the stars.
Let me see what spring is like.
Put Jupiter and Mars. There's hold my hand. Baby, kiss me.
Baby, kiss me.
Oh, yeah. They're gonna start throwing panties at you, boy. Song he sings forevermore. Worship in the Lord. Please be true. Mouth on the mic. There's that video the other day. Somebody had put there was a mosquito on a microphone and he was singing something. That shit was funny as hell. Gotta get it closer. Hold on, let me see. It's because I did something with the microphone. Let's see. Let's see if that's better. Is that better? Does that sound better? I'll start this song over again. The YouTube song. Now he should have put his hat down so people would be throwing money in it as he's singing out there. Or phone numbers.
In other words, please be true. In other words, I want you.
Yay! Don't forget to tip your waitresses and bartenders. And we'll be here till 2 o'clock. Yellow Q towel, Ghost Army hoodie. Jump!
Is this really happening? Oh my goodness! I'm so excited! I've done.
Did you? This says, what do you notice? A bunch of gay guys on a bus together. This is that Harry Styles guy. Someone earlier said, what would you name this group? I call it Bang Bus for gay guys. I'm not afraid to admit, but I'm jealous. I need to ride this. This guy's got his own train in his backyard. Starting it up. That's a steam engine. Oh yeah. Oh, I sent y'all that video of that guy got run over by the train too. That shit was nasty. He fell off a moving train. He fell in between the cars and like half on the track like that, and the train said and just cut him in half. That was nasty. Look at it. There you go. He's got 14 miles of track in his backyard.
The strong bias.
Should be no need for FOIA requests. All government data should be default public for maximum transparency. True?
with respect to government information should be to make it available to the public. Like it should be, let's be as transparent as possible, like fully transparent, unless it's like a massive risk to the country, like it's like, we don't want to give say exact instructions on how to make a nuclear bomb or something like that, but unless there's a genuine risk to the country, all information in the government should be public.
True.
I think
we pay for that shit. The paper is printed on. Yeah, I tell you, son of Israeli diplomat Eli Gilad deliberately ran over a U.S. police officer in Florida. He then engaged in high-speed pursuit endangering civilians.
Over by cops for traffic violations. He mentions his dad, Eli Gil, a consul at the Israeli consulate, and then the discussion turns to his vanity plate.
What's up with that?
According to cops, the plate reads, PLS Chase, Feds Lost. And cops say he flipped it down to cover his license plate.
Come on, dude, I have a camera in the front.
And there's more. January 14th, cops say this is Gil again, and he's out running the police. Listen to the officer talk about that vanity plate.
Sylvia Nudi, remember that guy that had the police chase?
Cops stopped the pursuit because in Miami Shores, their policy is they don't chase for traffic offenses. But that brings us to this past Saturday in Sunny Isles Beach.
173 in Collins. Just had a motorcycle car run me over. I got one subject in custody.
Oh, look,
Gil ran over an officer because they say he didn't want to sit in traffic. This all landed Gil in jail on charges of aggravated battery against a police officer.
Mr. Gil is a diplomat. Son, he has consular immunity.
The state stipulated to the defense's argument that Gil has immunity and released him from jail. And in the meantime, questions persist in legal circles whether immunity applies to this diplomat's son. All of this to play out in the days and weeks to come.
That's bullshit. Rachel Vinman says she will leave X because of too many MAGA patriots. Your thoughts? See you later.
One of those compromises that you'd support? I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't. There's no Kinko.
There ain't no Kinkos around here, and probably black people don't even know how to use a printer.
There's no Office Max near them.
All right. So it wasn't enough to say that black people aren't smart enough to get voter ID and prove who they are, but now rural people are also not smart enough or clever enough to get ID. And also, the fact that she just said the word Kinkos tells us exactly how out of touch she is with those of us in the real world who have to get stuff done, because Kinkos hasn't existed for like over 20 years. They were bought out by FedEx, and they kept the name for a couple of years, and then FedEx killed them off. That was the last time Kamala had to do something for herself, was when Kinkos existed. And I was raised in a middle-class family, and I understand what it means to be an American with a $62,000 necklace, still thinking Kinkos exists. She's insufferable.
Act like y'all want a part of it. We greased up each other. Especially you, Will. I had you shiny, boy. You too, Kelly. Baby, all boys, but I guess y'all forgot. We ripped each other apart at my party. Say I'm lying. Baby, all this rock and a little bit of Marvin Gaye make me feel like a man. Rose, you know you like Marvin Gaye. And not to mention you, Meek Mill. And to make it look like I'm the only one out here like this.
They said that his bodyguard got arrested. That guy Gene that's been on there talking all this stuff about Diddy. You was with him. You know what the hell he was doing?
I just came here to buy my stuff, and I asked her what stuff was, and she told me she didn't know. So I was going to get back to the car.
This is why everything's locked up right now.
What happened?
Are you guys okay to drive?
Oh, I was drunk. I'm drunk, but I'm drunk enough to drive it.
No.
Well, I got my cousin coming to pick me up, though. I can wait for my cousin to come pick me up.
Yeah, that's fine, but you can't drive, okay?
My cousin over here.
So have you been drinking too? No. Can you drive? You have a driver's license?
Nope.
Go ahead and actually trespass it, because I do know her bag has stuff in it because they didn't come in. No, I didn't. I don't have nothing out of there. Whenever my boyfriend decided this right here, this is the only thing that beat. She can have this bag. Yeah, you can have this now.
All right, well, here.
Let's see what's in the bag.
Okay, but this is my bag, sir. This is my bag. Listen, this is my bag. I gave her this. Excuse me, sir. I gave her this. Sir, this is the only thing I gave her. My bag is not hers.
Because they're stealing shit.
Okay, but why are you? Well, why are you trying to handcuff me?
You're not under arrest.
Okay, but what are you handcuffing me for?
You're being detained.
I'm not stealing.
Put your hands behind your back.
But what are you handcuffing me for?
Because you're being detained for theft.
Okay. Sir, can you still over there?
Step back. Step back, homeboy.
Okay, I'm just giving her nails back. They're gonna nails. I had them up under my arms. You seen? I didn't want them.
Drop this down.
Would you walk out with it?
Okay, stop grabbing my arms like that. What you grabbing my hands for?
Because you're tensing up.
I'm not tensing up. Don't grab my hand. I don't gotta steal.
I'm trying not to move.
Okay, I'm not trying to. Hey, get my purse, take my phone, get my phone up out of there.
He's over there flexing.
Take it to my cousin's car. Get my phone and get them nails right there. The only nails that I had. Take my phone to my cousin's car. Take it to my cousin's car. That's the only thing I have.
Hold on, why is he walking off with a bag?
And I had it up on my arms from nails. Excuse me, sir. Why is you being so rough with me? You being rough as fuck with me.
Let go of my hand.
Okay, but you being rough with me.
I'm making sure it's not gonna hurt.
Okay, but you being real rough. You ain't trying to make show nothing. You worry me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have.
Maybe sit down on the ground.
I will. I don't got shit up here.
Okay, sit.
I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit.
I'm gonna help you.
Do you have I can see it.
Okay, I'm gonna help you down.
I can see it.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, sir, when I walk out, the nails right there is the one that beat up under my arm. That nail.
Have a seat.
I don't have shit else up there.
Okay, come here. Have a seat.
I'm finna see.
I'm gonna sit you in the car.
Tell you what you're gonna do.
Right here.
Let's go sit in the car.
I see.
No, it's too late to sit down
Don't
now.
grab me. I'm finna sit.
Too late now.
Don't grab me. I'm finna sit.
No, you're sitting in the car.
Why do I have to sit in the car? I don't
Till I
have to
see
sit in
you.
the car. Okay, I can sit behind the car. I don't have to.
Fucking dumbasses. FBI seized Diddy blackmail tapes featuring Kamala Harris and J-Lo. Recently seized recordings from Sean Diddy Combs' infamous freak-offs, hold revelations of Jennifer Lopez and Kamala Harris that will shake the very foundations of the political establishment. Oh, Kamala's up there getting freaky at the freak-offs, the Diddy butthole parties.
Divider. And he's a major troublemaker, okay?
Can't take him nowhere.
And you know, I've always treated his wife with respect. Just one of those things. But I've always treated his wife with great respect. But she came at me the other day. That's not nice of her to do. And I think we're going to start having a little fun with Michelle. I think we're going to have a little fun. And just who's a big divider.
Migrant hotel king who cashed in on asylum seeker crisis rakes in $4.8 million a day in his own course to become first immigration industry billionaire. Tinkerbell. Hey, she can't fly with them things. She can't. Them wings right there ain't gonna let her get off the ground. Them things is huge. Senseless tinfoil hat wearing individual to think for 1 second that this is the same person protesting victimized at 3 completely different events.
You are a joke! This is hate! These are fucking assholes!
But I don't know where my son is. No one can tell
Oh, she's
me
at the
where
Orlando
my
nightclub
son
shooting.
is.
You are a joke!
My son was in Las Vegas with a lot of his friends and he came home.
And I'm disgusted! I'm a professor! How dare you! How dare you fucking assholes! Protect neo-Nazis!
If he's been shot, if he's dead, if no one knows. But they told me there are fatalities.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
He didn't come home last night and I don't want prayers. I don't want thoughts. I want gun control and I hope to God nobody else sends me any more prayers.
These are kids who are trying to learn about humanity! They're trying to learn about human rights and against racism and xenophobia and LGBTQ rights, and you're letting these fucking neo-Nazis near here! You should kick their
next to his boyfriend, and his boyfriend definitely was shot with multiple gunshots and taken in the ambulance. You should be ashamed of yourself!
You gotta find these people. Yeah, these paid actors ought to be found and they ought to be jailed. And then kicked out of the country.
I want gun control. No more guns.
Yeah, gun control, that's what it was. Gun walked up into the nightclub and just went to shoot by itself. And they said, whose gun is that? We said, we don't know.
Be graceful! Fuck you!
Second Amendment, bitch. Harris on SNL tonight is a bit like Trump on Fox and Friends this morning. Both are home team visits. Difference is that the VP appearance will reach a much bigger audience. And I thought it was illegal for them to do that without equal time. Don't tell Pfizer 73-year-old woman beat stage 4 cancer naturally. Doctors tell her there's no hope for a cure, but just 3 months later, scan reveals no disease. What she did. Son did research on X, came across posts suggesting IP6, inositol, juicing, and mesema mushrooms. Taking as much mushroom, but IP6 and juicing all alone were enough. It's just parasites. Get you some dewormer. I'm not a doctor though.
That has been installed quietly, interestingly, not by the government, but instead by private businesses and banks. It's in similar ways, really, to the way the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system works. Rather than use a CCP standard of adherence to the ruling regime, it's instead based on the social justice standards under ESG, or
Social Justice Warriors.
Where do I put this? Come put it in my head. Come put it in my head right here. Good job, good job. Here, break another one. Defend! Yeah, pass me the remote. You for real? Nah, I'm for fake. Pass me the remote. Mama, where do I put this? Come put it in my head.
He called the cops a racial slur after being tased, and the cop started punching him. Cuffs.
That's assault!
And he hits like a bitch.
Assault! That is assault! You can't do that! You can't do that! You can't do that! That's assault! That's assault! That's a lawsuit, bitch! That's a lawsuit!
Lawsuit incoming. If it had been the other way around, people would be burning shit in the streets. Kennedy campaign dropped the best ad for unity team that built Trump. We're not just voting for Trump, we're voting for the best unity team ever created. This pizza boy, the talk show host, what's his name? Stephen Colbert, Hillary Clinton's former chief of staff, Tommy Lozado, who ran a password-protected website with all the markers of being a child porn and a sex trafficking site.
Insane. So many people in the mainstream media have said Pizzagate is a conspiracy theory. Pizzagate has been debunked. It has not been debunked. If it's been debunked, explain the code words. No one to this day, including John Podesta himself, can explain the code words in his emails.
Hey, John Podesta, can you please explain why you have children rented for entertainment for your adult hot tub parties? No one has ever explained why John Podesta has literal pedophile and cannibalism paintings all over his office and his home. Tony Podesta too. And then you look into the spirit cooking dinners, and you look into Marina Abramovic, who's the one that was conducting the spirit cooking dinners. Why are they going to Spirit cooking dinners? Why are they sacrificing chickens to Moloch in their backyard? This isn't my words. This is their words. This is in their emails.
I'd be willing to debate anyone who thinks that Pizzagate has been debunked.
You asked me when am I getting additional briefings? That was the first and last time I talked.
So October 9th is the last time you've heard from the FBI at all?
Yes.
You have not got an update on the investigation to your personal email?
That is correct.
So
Liar. Thanks to Jews.
She's It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees.
This is the Democrat Party.
I ain't got no hitter, and no hitter ain't got. Let's go. I'm about to show my these niggas love him. How the is that your man? Huh? If he right here with me. Turned up with my sister. Turned up with my show. Yeah. 60,000 fans can't see me do my. Got 1,000,001 haters and then turned up with my healers. Turned up with my sister. Turned up with my show. Yeah. I'm a big hand king. We might got a backwood full of time and a backwood full of beans. All that Twitter typing, they see me and I
You know damn good and well that ain't her hair.
ain't too nutty. Cropped out with some biker shorts, I'm showing out my.
I mean, we could argue what is nature.
Today we are at a
Who determines what's biologically normal?
Nature.
I mean, we could argue what is nature.
Today we are at a Kamala Harris rally here in Atlanta, Georgia. If you can see behind me, and you already know what we're going to do. Ask very logical, simple questions. Why you're supporting Kamala?
Pack. Big Mama.
Are you voting for
What's up,
Harris?
girl?
All right. You want to tell us why?
Absolutely. I have 2 daughters.
I want them to be able to kill my grandbabies.
I have 2 daughters. They're 17 and 21, and it's for them. It's for their future, their freedom, their rights.
Oh, the Roe thing. Yeah, so she's all in favor of killing babies.
Got it. Would you consider yourself a feminist?
That's a loaded question. Yeah, absolutely.
How do you feel about men competing in women's sports? Biological men competing in women's sports.
Oh, well, that is tough.
Doesn't really mess with feminism?
Is there any way they could do it based on weight? Or because I don't really think your sexual organs or whatever matter, your sex, but your strength. I mean, there are strong women.
There's no way to go around that. You can estrogen to be more female, but
That's
you're
true.
still way
That's true.
stronger.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I just am more progressive, I think, in every way.
How does feminism wrap its head around what's happening now when women's rights are being taken away by men, which is what feminism was initially supposed to be?
Right. Well, is there this assumption that because someone walks into a woman's bathroom that they want to be looking at the women? I mean, there are a lot of men who are not transgendered.
But there's a lot of perverts out there and pedophiles who are going to take that and use that as, say, well, I can be here because I'm, and it's happened many times already.
Well, I see your point, but I also think that it happens just with plain male-gendered men anyway.
But we don't normalize it by saying, well, it kind of happened, so we're going to let everyone do it.
That's the scary term, is normalize, isn't it? So it's like, what is normal? What do we want to define as normal?
Male,
and
female.
I think that's what
In this instance, male-female. Biological,
female.
natural, male.
But I think that's what you said, the word that is the key word, normalize. And I think a lot of people
I meant that it normalize something that's not biologically normal.
Who determines that? Who determines what's biologically normal?
Nature.
I mean, we could argue what is nature. What is normal? That's the problem, and we're never going to agree.
Well, nature gave us a binary, so as far as the physics that we know in this universe, that's what nature provided us with, and that's all we can go off of.
I think we limit ourselves when we limit ourselves to a binary universe like that.
So, for instance, there's a positive and negative charge in electricity. We can't change that. That's just nature.
Absolutely. And it has you repel or you attract.
Yeah.
But, that's science.
That's
Absolutely.
100%.
But
I agree.
These people are morons, man. Laundry robot and our wife. I wonder how much that thing costs. Oh, flow or two. We're gonna put them away, hang them up. Or we can fold the towel. Y'all ladies is finna be out of work. Yeah, y'all finna be out of work.
They are 6 and 8.
Would you support them to get hormone blockers to become the other gender?
I would absolutely support them to get hormone blockers. The idea of one of my granddaughters learning that they're going to start having their period if they don't get their hormones blocked, even though they're identifying and portraying as a male. How horrible that would be. So yes, definitely.
If your granddaughter came to you and wanted to get a tattoo, what would you say?
That would be more difficult. I always told my 3 sons the one thing I ask is please don't get tattoos.
Really? Why tattoos?
There's just something so permanent about it.
Permanent?
It's pretty permanent. It's very difficult to get them lasered off or removed.
You don't think it's like permanent to change your gender?
See, you probably look at me and you think all old people are wise, but unfortunately, no.
How old are your granddaughter?
They started melting down when she got the question.
Curious when you said that your company credo was to always put the public first.
It is.
Was that what you were doing when you were lying to doctors and patients about the addictive nature of opioids? Is that why your company agreed to billions of dollars in settlements with states and other localities because of what you did to further the opioid crisis?
We prevailed in the only 2 cases that were tried.
You settled for billions of dollars, and I brought one of those suits, and it's the proudest thing I ever did as Attorney General of the state of Missouri. Your company has made billions of dollars on American consumers, multiple times lying to them. And the idea that you now are looking actively for ways to limit the liability for further torts you have committed against the American people, I think is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. And if you want to know why the American people don't trust huge corporations, it's because of companies like yours. Senator Hawley. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Haas, if I could just come back to you. Let me ask you about the Ingham case. I'm sure you remember that case. That was the one litigated in my state, in the state of Missouri. 22 plaintiffs who alleged that your baby powder caused ovarian cancer. By the way, didn't the FDA find that there were traces of asbestos in your baby powder?
The FDA outsourced to a lab that found asbestos, a trace amount of asbestos in one lot, and 150 studies thereafter were done of that batch and found no asbestos. And if there was asbestos
Okay. That's quite the word salad. But if we just compress, I think the answer is yes, right? Did the FDA find that there were traces of asbestos in your baby powder?
No, ultimately.
No? The Third Circuit got that wrong? I just read it in their opinion.
Ultimately, if the
wait, answer my question. The Third Circuit was wrong about that? I just read it in their opinion. They said the FDA found traces of asbestos in your baby powder.
The FDA outsourced to a lab that found a trace amount of asbestos.
Okay, the answer is yes. So let's go back to the Ingham case then. I think it's a relevant question. Do you remember what the verdict was in the Ingham case, where the jury found what they awarded?
As the chair properly stated, it was initially $4.6 billion for a consolidated trial of 22 plaintiffs that was reduced thereafter to $2.2 billion.
$2.24 billion finally on appeal. That's a lot of money. That's one case, 22 plaintiffs, 20 at the end of the day because of the appeal. You were facing how many additional cases after that?
We have thousands of cases.
Tens of thousands, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So one set of plaintiffs gets $2+ billion. You have the potential for, by that math, tens of billions more, right? Who knows?
No, not necessarily, because recall, most claimants lose and receive zero.
So what you do is, after the Ingham case, your company panics, and what you do is you then decide, oh my gosh, we can't possibly do this. We don't want to pay these plaintiffs this kind of money. So you then create a separate company for the sole purpose of declaring bankruptcy and making sure that the tens of thousands of other plaintiffs get scraps.
The proposal that we had would never succeed and would not have succeeded but for the support of the claimants that had made the proposed resolution. We went to
I have no idea what you're saying. I thought it was plaintiffs who sued you that went all the way to the Third Circuit where they said you couldn't do what you're trying to do. You're saying that you're saying the plaintiffs wanted this? They like the Texas two-step? The plaintiffs want to be denied their day in court and denied recovery?
The majority of claimants, counsel representing the majority of claimants, yes, do want this resolution because most claimants receives nothing.
Let's talk about what you did.
Let's
talk about what you did. First of all, I think it's outrageous, the idea that plaintiffs want to be denied their day in court. That's why they took you to court. That's why the Third Circuit ruled against you. Let's talk about what you did. Here is, according to the Third Circuit, an abbreviated version of how you tried to avoid actually paying out liability. Old Consumer, which was one of your subsidiaries, merged into Chenango Zero LLC.
She was 5 months along when she was aborted in New Jersey. My daughter was healthy. I begged her mother not to go through with the abortion. For 5 months, we went back and forth. I don't hate my ex. I love her. And I'm working on forgiving her. She was confused. She was uncertain. And she had doubts. This was an option, and she took that option, and she regrets it now. Why do you think, and this is just a thought that just came into my head, why do you think that people dehumanize my Clementine? Why wasn't she human enough for people to help you mourn? Why wasn't she human enough for people to talk about? My mother was given birth to prematurely at 5 months. My daughter was 5 months. I didn't get to say goodbye to my daughter. I didn't know about the abortion until after it happened. I begged her not to do the appointment. She told me that she canceled it. My daughter was 5 months, and she was ripped apart. My daughter doesn't get a funeral. My daughter doesn't get respect. As my friend asked, medical testing on a healthy baby. Why? My girlfriend didn't pay for the abortion. The clinic did. How much money did they make off of my daughter's body? How many other babies did the doctor kill since she's been dead? This has been a month and 3 days. This happened March 12th and 13th. My daughter was conceived October 25th. She was supposed to be born July 20th. My daughter was a person. My daughter is an angel. And I pray for her every single day. I talk to her. I still feel like she's there. I feel like on July 20th, my daughter's gonna be there. She doesn't get a funeral. I have her sonogram picture the first time I heard her heartbeat. And I bring this up to people and I say, well, she had a heartbeat. Wasn't she a person? And I'm being told she's a fetus. Which, by the way, everybody, that's Latin for offspring. Okay? So I don't know why we're speaking Latin. I speak English. And my daughter not only matters, but I do not want my daughter to be forgotten. I want my daughter's story to be talked about. I want her to be remembered. Why isn't my daughter human enough for people to care? Why isn't my daughter woman enough for her to have a body and for her to have a choice?
Sad. Stop killing the babies. I saw it on TV. Look at that right there, Butch. Butch.
Look, when I came out a long time ago, I said they've been spying on my campaign. I said they've been taping, and that was in quotes, meaning a modern-day version of taping. It's all the same thing, but a modern-day version. But they've been spying on my campaign. I told you that a long time ago. Turned out I was right. Let's see what happens to them now.
I am officially running for President of the United States.
Should Russia have all the fun? And since Russia is clearly backing Republicans, why don't we ask China to back us?
Take on the intelligence community. They have 6 ways from Sunday of getting back at you. And we need the intelligence community. We don't know what's going on. Look at the Russian hacking.
One thing, I don't know why
doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself of a time when in spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when
What Mr. Trump did yesterday was to betray the women and men of the FBI, the CIA, NSA, and others, and to betray the American public. And that's why I use the term that this is nothing short of treasonous, because it is a betrayal of the nation. He is giving aid and comfort to the enemy, and it needs to stop.
It doesn't even matter.
They all ought to be in jail or executed. Native American land. Amish is helping North Carolina.
First of all, the Amish from Lancaster, Pennsylvania is sending a 56-passenger bus to Swannanoa, North Carolina to build little cabins for people who lost their homes. They're going to be here from Monday through Friday. Friday they're going to go home and then come back Monday with a fresh crew to start all over again. And they say they don't want any help. They just basically want people to stay out of their way and let them do what they got to do. They said they're going to be 100% self-sufficient, and they're going to get that done, and people are going to have a home, at least in Swannanoa.
The Amish boys know how to work.
I'm Mr.
How will this story end?
Your bitch, take her for a trip, fly to New York, sign my name all on her tits.
Horde.
Lady, I like blue faces, so I took his baby. Fuck blue face, I had a fucking new bay. Yeah, with my boom, what she say?
This is a Kamala rally?
That's the one thing I can say, yes,
Kansas,
take her up on that advice.
Kansas, North
so,
Carolina.
Mr. Cuban, you have about 6 more to enjoy.
Yes.
Or about 5.5, and then it's showtime.
Yes, well, and Kayleigh McEnany making a good point. You know, he's obviously saying that the people that Trump...
That's why your kids act like that. Oh, this is that guy that does the racing on the...
And Jackson Storm Speed Racer.
On the Speed Racer! He's got a treadmill, he's got all these things racing on there.
Lewis Hamilton Baseball. Coke Zero and the DeLorean. Flame tickets pushed out by Clutch Tape. Clutching the Burger Coca-Cola next. Fighting off plenty of racers. Speed Racer's still alive. Skyline's still alive. It's the top 3 here. Skyline comes in backwards. Clutching on the other racers. Clutch Tape fighting with Speed Racer.
That Mustang's running backwards.
Taking both out and he takes out the Skyline. 1v1, the 2 races. Speed Racer and Clutch Tape. Win! Clutch Tape pushes him ahead. Speed Racer is not giving up. Clutch Tape turning almost completely sideways and staying alive. Breaks the lights again. But Clutch Tape, can he survive? No, he's at the very end. It's not enough. Can he work his way back to the front with the full incline? He does. Unbelievable. I've never seen this before. Clutch Tape wins that full
Round 4. Well, he be doing some like betting and shit on there. He bet before the race starts. Make some money doing that.
Of America. Like, I'm not even from here. Like, I just think, like...
You don't give a F about the founding of America? Is that what you just said? Get out.
Citizen?
Yes. I just think both...
That sounds like a pretty wild claim to say you're a citizen and you don't care about the history and the culture and the politics and the freedom that you've been granted.
I think anyone who, like, associates themselves with politics, like, you're honestly pretty... Like, no politician will ever work for you.
The American foundation is based on self-governance. So if you can't govern yourself, like, about as un-American as it gets.
I don't give a about the founding of America. Like,
Get out! They should have round him up right there.
Robot moves even faster than the soldiers. Although it's rated for 550 pounds, soldiers decided to...
Russia starts introducing a transport ground robot for transport of supply and wounded.
Push its limits by having 4 people ride on it at once, and it still managed to maintain speed. While its main job is to transport supplies, one of its primary functions is to evacuate the wounded. In this test, 2 soldiers simulate loading an injured comrade onto the robot, which then quickly moves to the rear, navigating obstacles like steep 45-degree slopes and even crossing railway tracks. The BRG-1 handled it all with ease. What's even more impressive is that the robot can help a wounded soldier evacuate on its own if no one else is around. It lowers its transport platform to the ground, extends a hook, and the injured soldier can attach the hook to themselves. The robot then pulls them onto the platform and safely transports them to the rear for further treatment. And here's a key point. 90% of the robot's components are made in Russia, so there's potential for mass production in the near future. And as you can see, the robot moves even faster than the soldiers.
Shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. He anointeth my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. He anointeth my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leads me in the paths of right.
Vince, my husband, will let me be a sham, stay-at-home mom. How to cook it. Oh yeah, hag
So I've been buying mushrooms for like the last 3 weeks.
See, that's bullshit. That girl knows how to cook. Look how big she is.
With the intention of making this meal, and I kept putting it off. So I have 3 different mushrooms, and I'm trying to figure out which one is spoiled and which one's the one I bought last week. So
They should have a date on them, dumbass.
option 1. Option 2, option 3. I'm gonna have to wing it, but someone tell me in the comments which one is better. Okay, update. My husband went back and watched my grocery haul for last week, and these are the good mushrooms. Like, they have like these weird lines. Is this normal? Come over here. Is this normal? Yeah.
That's part of the mushroom.
That is part of the mushroom?
Yeah. Those are
The gills. Mushrooms have gills.
Yeah, just throw pile them in there. What the hell?
Oh no. What?
Peanut. I would say her name, but almost any video of people explaining who she is in the situation, the videos are gone. You want to know the kicker? Not only is she a photographer, she's a photographer that's a conservationist. She goes out, and part of what she films is nature. Make it make sense. This is the woman that made the
You can't make it make sense. We're living in a crazy world. Jack Doherty paid Polo G $200,000 to pull up just for him to reject performing and leave after 20 minutes.
You want the mic? You want it? Why do it?
Yeah. Quit idolizing these thugs, these wannabe thugs. Ask him, has he got his butthole touched? You ain't hardcore till you go get your butthole touched at Diddy's house. You ain't hardcore, rapper.
Clearly love Donald Trump. They love him in spite of everything they've heard. They love him often in spite of himself. They love Donald Trump because no one else loves them. The country their ancestors fought for over hundreds of years has left them to die in their unfashionable little towns, mocked and despised by the sneering half-wits with finance degrees but no actual skills who seem to run everything all of a sudden. Whatever Donald Trump's faults, he is better than the rest of the people in charge. Donald Trump, in other words, is and has always been a living indictment of the people who run this country. That was true when Trump came out of nowhere to win the presidency, and it's every bit as true right now. Trump rose because they failed. It's as simple as that. If the people in charge had done a halfway decent job with the country they inherited, Donald Trump would still be hosting Celebrity Apprentice. But they didn't. Instead, they were incompetent and narcissistic and cruel and relentlessly dishonest. They wrecked what they didn't build. They lied about it. They hurt anyone who told the truth about what they were doing. That's true. We watched. America is still a great country, the best in the world, but our ruling class is disgusting. A vote for Trump is a vote against them. That's what's going on in this country.
Princess dying, I pitch her up, someone please.
Way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your due.
George
Proud to be an American, where it is.
Harris on Joe Rogan, so they got the next best thing. John Fetterman. Halfway through this episode, but so far it's not terrible. They have some technical difficulties the first 5 or 10 minutes. John Fetterman has to use like a closed caption machine because of his stroke. He had messed up his hearing. The closed captioning machine wasn't working very well, but they did get it fixed eventually, and the interview continued on. I don't want to go after John Fetterman because he had a stroke, but he seems to struggle with the speech. A lot of stuttering and a lot of, seems like aphasia, where he's misplacing one word for the other. You get what he means, but it's just not what he says, which is all, is what it is. But if you're a United States Senator and you're passing serious legislation, I feel like this should kind of hinder that. The comprehension, you kind of question whether or not the comprehension's there of the questions that Joe's asking. You can kind of tell that Joe's kind of leading the interview on in a very polite way, but again, it is what it is. Okay, so we're here about him going through the primaries while he had a stroke and he was trying to recover from a stroke. Then they get into his depression, where he had to be sent to Walter Reed for a couple weeks to help manage his depression. The amount of money that the parties take out on each other in order to attack each other, and how it had happened to him, that the RNC, they took out like hundreds of millions of dollars to run ad campaigns against him, about how he didn't have that kind of money to do that and how he was more grassroots. I don't know how true that is. But one of the things that they had talked pretty in depth about that really kind of caught me, John Fetterman was asked why he decided to run for Senate. Like, what was he trying to change? What did he want to change? And he boiled it down to rural America, the steel industry particularly, because obviously he's from Pennsylvania and they were a big steel industry back in the day, and then that all went away and America kind of abandoned him. And so he really was focused on these smaller counties, these smaller areas, and he wanted to help them, to bring some of those jobs back. Sounds eerily similar to Trump's plan to want to do that, to bring the industrial work back to the United States. Started talking about the 2016 race between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and he had said that the reason he thought Hillary Clinton had lost Pennsylvania was because Hillary Clinton and her campaign had focused so hard on the two major cities that they left out all the other rural communities, and Trump and his team got together and they were like, you know what? We're going to hit every single one of these rural communities, and they did. They went out to every single teeny tiny county in Pennsylvania, and they campaigned, and they talked to people. Fetterman's like, it was unprecedented, and I kind of blew the whistle on it. I'm like, hey, here's what he's doing, and I was kind of dismissed. They told him, you know what, it doesn't matter, those counties are too small, and he's like, well, okay, but what had happened was those counties might be really small, but when you got 57, 58 of them and you add them all together, you get this outrageously number of high voters. And he says you're seeing it again kind of this year. He didn't say it outright, but that is another thing that him and Trump kind of do agree on when it comes to these small and rural communities. I'm not a fan of John Fetterman. I'm not a fan of the legislation that he's been put through. But there was another question that Joe Rogan had asked about what John Fetterman has done since he's been in the Senate. They went on this whole big conversation about how John Fetterman had come in at the same time as J.D. Vance, and they were both freshmen, and when you're in the Senate, you kind of have to just wait your turn. You're at the bottom of the poll. You don't get to do anything. You don't get to introduce legislation. You don't get to do anything. And that caught me right there, because it's like, listen, these people don't vote you into the Senate. Your constituents don't vote you into these positions so you can get there and have to sit for years and wait your turn. That's fucked up. It shouldn't matter how many years you've been in the Senate. You should be able to go in and at least try and do the things, try and pass the things that you had promised your constituents that you would do. The fact that he couldn't get anything done that he had made how frustrating, and that's got to be frustrating for him. That's got to be frustrating for any freshman senator, congressman, or House representative or anything. That needs to change. Like, I wasn't aware that it was like that. You can't do anything in the Senate for years. That is until the old guard decides to retire or dies, and you slowly start to move up the totem pole. Anyway, like I said, I'm only about halfway through it. It is a tough listen. Fetterman, he struggles with speaking quite a bit. But if you're going to listen to it, go and listen to it with an open mind, because I feel like there's like the Democrats, and then there's like the Democrats, the establishment, and then there's like John Fetterman. Almost kind of reminds me, is it new John Fetterman? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Old John Fetterman was establishment, but it seems like new John Fetterman is more, just wants to do what he promised the people that he would do.
That ain't even the same John Fetterman. Tesla issues. Marco Rubio, non-citizen from China, voted in Michigan.
Registered to vote and voted. And now he's being charged for doing that, but guess what? His ballot's going to count. We know at least one non-citizen's ballot is going to count in Michigan because they don't know which ballot it is and they can't retrieve it. These are facts.
Congress panels are coming. Hatred and riots.
Cyber attack exercise on a massive scale on election day. I'm not kidding. This is a real thing. I'm going to show my I'm going to turn my camera around and I'm going to show you the website. It is the Homeland Security Critical Infrastructure website. There's the website for anybody who needs it. 2024 Homeland Security Critical Infrastructure Conference in Atlanta, November 6th and 7th, but with a large-scale tabletop cyber security exercise on November 5th, Election Day. And this is coming right from their website, a government website telling you, well, maybe they wanted to keep it a secret, but they're doing a large-scale cybersecurity exercise, and they planned it.
He hasn't been relevant for how long? They're paying him how much? They're paying Beyonce, the fucking ringleader of all the trafficking cults. You have like Kamala did a video with Usher and everyone's like, yo, don't think this is probably the best time. And I'm like, literally the Epstein list, like the meme, and then the P. Diddy list, and then they're all endorsing Kamala Harris. By the way, they're all getting paid shit tons of money as well. Like, what do you care what celebrities say? They're all like hell worshipping s***ness freaks, and they're all elitists too, which is so funny. The middle class party. I'm like, these are all elitists.
Taylor Swift only impacted 50,000 votes.
Yeah, I'm like, who cares? They're not influencing anyone. It's just they just have tons of money, they need to spend it, and they think and they know that their voters are super dumb and they're gonna be like, oh, Beyonce, and it's like, I love her. Oh, fuck Eminem. He hasn't been relevant for how long? They're paying him how much? They're paying...
Old days, when you could go to a store, you wanted to buy your makeup, you wanted to buy your deodorant, your razors, things that you need to take care of your body. You used to freely be able to go and buy those without having someone to come and unlock the gate for you. Gosh, those were the good old days.
People are transgender, and tell me, is there a technical difference between the two?
Damn, okay. Some people will say that there's a difference. To me, there's no difference, so it's just either or.
Okay, so by a lot, what are your chromosomes, XX or XY?
Very strange question, but
not really.
XY. I could be intersex, who knows?
Okay, so you were born as a man and you are a man?
No. I was born as a man, and now I'm a woman.
Okay, no, but you don't become a woman just because you dress like a woman.
Oh, goodness. What about my hormones?
I don't become black. Do I become black if I wear blackface?
That is a wild comparison, but hormones by themselves you can actively change. By taking HRT, you can also stop taking the T suppressor.
But people are more than hormones. I mean, you have men with low testosterone, those are called white dudes for Harris. You can have women with high testosterone. So testosterone, estrogen, and your endocrinology is more than what you are as either a man or a woman. There's brain size, there is how you process information, there is bone density, muscle mass. Every single one of your cells is either coded XX or XY. So let me ask you a question. If I wear a disguise or a costume, do I become that thing? For example, if I dress with a sombrero and start talking with a Mexican accent, do I then become that culture?
No, because that's different race.
Okay, but then wait, why, how is it different? Because you're saying that if you dress a certain way and you present a certain way, you can be as you think you are. Why can't I also just choose what culture I am?
Because you are born within a culture, you are born with...
But you were born as a man. but let him finish.
All right, fuck you. Anyways, sorry.
I'm sorry, what did you say? My pronouns are not F you, actually.
Oh, wow, thank you. All right. Anyways. There are many things collectively into a culture that has been built up over time, but not as much as, male or female.
Got it. So what is a woman?
What is a woman is whatever you want to be.
So anyone can be a woman?
Yeah.
Do you get a period?
No. Well, actually, yes. So, no.
Can you give birth?
No. But a lot of trans people that are on hormones do get PMS symptoms.
Right, but symptoms and is different. I mean, like moodiness or mood swings are not the same thing.
Yeah,
but can you give birth?
Also, cis women don't always have to give birth. Cis women can also have PMS symptoms without getting a period.
Right. So, but you have to. So, a woman can be whatever you want it to be. Is that correct?
Yeah, but it's cis.
Fucking retards.
Used to work for George Soros. Who's the governor of Michigan? Think about it. California Governor Gavin Newsom is Nancy Pelosi's nephew. Just bear me out. Keep coming with me. Adam Schiff's sister is married to one of George Soros' sons. Who George Soros? He hates the United States. He wants to turn the United States on its head. He put all of these progressives in office. He votes strictly Democrat. He supports strictly the Democratic Party. And he hates the United States. He said it. He hates us. John Kerry, we know who he is. Forget that guy. His daughter is married to a mullah's son in Iran. His daughter is married to a mullah's son in Iran. Understand the connection that I'm making here. These are all facts. I'm not making this up. ABC News executive producer Ian Cameron is married to Susan Rice, Obama's former national security advisor. You want to see the deep state? You want to see the mafia? You want to see how this all pulls together? You want to understand why certain things have happened in this country over the past several years? Keep listening. CBS president David Rhodes is the brother of Ben Rhodes, Obama's deputy national security advisor for strategic communications. So ABC News and CBS News both have people at the high level that were connected to Obama and the Democratic Party. ABC News correspondent Claire Shipman is married to Jay Carney, who is the former Obama White House press secretary. Look at the connection. Look at the mainstream media. Look at the deep state that we're talking about. This is mafia. This is all about control.
Screw the Eagles. Quit watching that football, Fox.
A little too close.
I'm looking at him like, I say Jesus.
And next question is... But eventually, B got tired of whatever that was.
First we were friends, then became lovers. You was more than my girl.
First they were friends and they became lovers.
We was like brothers.
The lyrics hit different now that you know what Diddy likes. Diddy likes buttholes. What kind of buttholes did Diddy like? Men buttholes.
All night we would play fight undercovers. Now
Play fight undercover. Undercovers. They got more covers on the bed than one. And they're play fighting and they're tickling each other. Y'all better stop that in there.
Diddy and Biggie were a little too close.
I'm looking at him like, I say Jesus.
And
you got a dirty roommate.
Oh, sorry for the mess.
Steve, go. What's up, Mom?
This is my friend Cheyenne.
You need to clean this mess up in here, man. What are you doing? We're going to have bed bugs.
So nice to meet you, Cheyenne.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I'm Steven.
Hey.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to
I'm
meet
your
you.
roommate.
Yeah, you want to head to the living room?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to be living?
Okay. Change your fucking shirt, you stink, dude. Oh, shit, sorry.
What's that talking about?
Bro, what did I say about the shirt, man?
That's the cleanest shirt I have. I haven't done laundry in 3 days, man. Stop trying to embarrass me in front of her, man.
Are you serious?
You didn't do the dishes, bro? Come on, dude.
You're not gonna rinse it afterwards?
Nope. Just put saran wrap over it.
Bro, when's the last time you showered?
It was recent.
Like, how recent is recent?
4 days ago.
4 days?
Yeah.
Bro, you gotta shower more often.
No, people that shower every day literally dries their skin out. That's why they have shitty skin. Look at mine. My shit glowing, bro.
Are you
skin got stains on it. No, it don't, man. You're just a fucking hater. Do you have milk? No, I don't think so. I think
Have some water in it.
Whatever. Bro. It was nice meeting you, Cheyenne. You have a good day.
Eric, I think I'm gonna go home.
Yeah, I understand.
Take me with you.
Okay.
Take me with you.
Israel seems to be able to fight wars very quickly. What is your
Dilmar's a Jew?
Because we don't seem to have the hang of that.
The secret is that we have America. We have America.
Unlike America.
America. Y'all dragging it. That's why I don't know nobody like America. It said 417 miles, 400 kilometers an hour. Bullshit.
What's up? I'll insert the video, but I want to show you something. I want to show you how good God is. Is at this. So my husband came to get me, and he found this. Trying to get it out. He found this. This is how good God is. My car is burnt to a crisp, as you see. But look at God. This is Ronnie's Bible. Look, y'all, you can't tell me that God isn't real. No pages are scathed. No pages are burnt. Listen, if you're not a believer, you need to get on it. Don't worry about my nails. If you're not a believer, you need to get on it because nothing is burnt. This is my car.
Pokemon had a nip slip.
Everybody.
Why is it blurred out? I want to see it.
Yeah. Okay, I have a scientific question for everybody.
Pokemon.
Can I leave eggs outside of my fridge?
Well, not if they've been refrigerated. If they've been refrigerated, you can't. You got to keep them in the refrigerator. Now, if you go take them straight out of the chicken's butt, if you like you got your own chickens, as long as you don't wash them, you can leave them out.
The whole time? The whole time? Like, never put them in the fridge? Oh. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. Nipple.
My bra. Oh no.
Nipple hanging out.
Okay. I have a scientific question for everybody.
Dude, ladies, do y'all not realize that your nipples are hanging out? I know when mine are out. How come? Because I can feel the cold air kissing my breast. Fox News keeps putting on Democrat ads as part of their news programs. Their sound bites are almost all Harris and her Democrat friends, all of whom are on the shows Fox News is not our friend. It's crazy. American cops, can I see your license, registration, please? South African cops. Jump in your car.
You gotta hold the brake, and you press that one.
Can I press here?
Yeah.
It's still in your car there, buddy.
Was leaving, decided to immigrate, decided to leave this country. And I said, why are you leaving? He said, it's homosexuality. I said, what are you talking about? He said, 300 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were hanged, drawn, and quartered. 100 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were hanged. 50 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were flogged and given 20 years in prison. 20 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were fined £200 and sent to prison for 2 years. 5 years ago, if you were homosexual, you had a small fine and you were pardoned. Got off with a warning. I said, well, what are you leaving for? He said, I'm going before they make it compulsory.
Uh-oh. Most Brazilian thing ever. Our family and the Real Q team, white hats. Magna Carta.
Alex?
Thank you.
Circular staff to screen reporters. Question.
Alex? Alex? I'm Lauren. Sorry. You have to say the last name or someone else. Oh, keep going.
You know what? It's 48 hours out. Everyone's a little tired. Who was with us last night? You're right. Few sleep deprived.
Alex?
Thank you.
Alex?
Alex? I'm Lauren. Sorry.
Cool. Where are you going? You're my cupbearer, remember? Serve me my wine. Hurry up, this pie is dry. Good. Needs washing down.
If it please your grace, Lady Thomas is
No.
very tired.
The wait here.
Your grace.
There's nothing.
That's what Chris got. He got poisoned.
He's choking! Idiots, help your king!
Wait! Jeffrey!
That's his mama, and her brother is his daddy. They were making love to each other. I think they're from Kentucky.
He poisoned my son, your king. Take him!
The little midget guy was his uncle. Ball on the goal line, MAGA's on the goal line. Do not let up until Donald Trump is won. Can't call yourself a Catholic or a Christian if you're voting for Kamala Harris. The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence is one of the most vile and demonic groups of our time. They use the cross as a sex prop, and yet Kamala Harris celebrated with a vile demonic group. Strange creatures discovered in Antarctica. Fake shit.
Report for people taking my property. You are putting them on public property, which is
That's a guy walking around in a dress in Seattle.
illegal. Can I have my
What you need to do is just go over there and whoop his ass.
property back, or are you stealing my property? Are you going to dispose of it again on public property? Do you believe in democracy? Yeah, I do. Are you going to put your stuff on public land illegally?
I ain't asking you again. Put my shit down. I'm gonna whoop your ass, boy.
An active police report for people taking my property. You are putting them on public property, which is illegal. Can I have my property back, or are you stealing my
Stop
property?
asking for your shit and don't take it from them pussies.
Crazy shit, am I right?
Yeah.
He don't know what the fuck, like.
Right. My son raps. His name is Tut Tarantino.
Wait, what?
My son, right? He is.
What's his name?
He raps under Tut Tarantino. His real name is Elijah Irvin. he raps about some of the hardest stuff in the world. And I say to him, son, you grew up in a 20,000 square foot gated community home.
He said I grew up in a 20,000 square foot, and it's not that big. I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't 20,000.
Yeah.
He gassed the fuck out that shit. Not even 15.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It don't even matter, but he, you know what I'm saying? He was exactly.
Where does this stuff come from?
The streets, that's why don't get me started.
And completely out of control, and instead of trying to...
Don't get me started. Is that a BMW quit? Israeli terrorists are getting scared as the Israel genocide tracker scours the internet to find and publicize their action in Gaza. Soldiers are surprised to be identified through social media posts, now worried about potential consequences. War crimes! Hey, you can't play that, it's got music in it. Parcels protocol, 32 ounces of still water, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of Celtic sea salt. Drink 1 cup every 2 hours. Keep oxygen back in the body and take out all radiation caused by Wi-Fi and frequencies of bombardment. And it kills parasites. That's the main problem we got going on. Reminder that if you're still unvaxxed, you survived the biggest psyop in human history. They elaborated an evil plan for decades. Do you realize how much time, resources, and effort they put into this? They studied all the possible ways to enslave your mind and make you take the vax. They tried to demoralize you by corrupting society from every possible corner. They tried to vilify and desensitize your mind with porn. They tried to lure you with money, gifts, and rewards. Remember that, French fries and a cheeseburger too. On reality, they tried to confuse and make you doubt your own reality and identity. They tried to make you walk on your principle, your own principles, values, and ethics. They even turned your close ones against you. Almost everyone felt it. Almost all of them cucked in, but not you. Just realize how much bullshit you went through and overcame. You never cooked. You are still unvaxxed. You are still a pure blood. Their tricks didn't work on you. So to all the unvaxxed, I say to you, cheers, gentlemen. Stay based.
With this moment, how will we be remembered?
And made a video about me, saying that I confirmed his belief that Southern people are less educated. Well, sir, that depends on what you're referring to. Are you talking about a college education? Because I got one of those. But no, what you're probably talking about is politics and stocks, which case you'd probably be correct. Because I don't spend a whole lot of time retaining knowledge and things that'll have the value of a goose egg when this world goes to hell in a handbasket. But if the markets crash and you're forced to survive on little to nothing, live off the lands and protect and fend for your own, I think you'll come to find that us Southern folks are a lot more educated than you think. And you'll probably want to learn a thing or two from us.
Facts.
So a Democrat...
Don't think I should be subjected to these fraudulent mailers.
When this 50-year-old Shrewsbury woman put up a Harris wall sign in front of her home, she just wanted to show her support. She never imagined she would be subjected to a campaign dirty trick.
It really creeped me out.
She was dismayed when the mail arrived this week and she received this postcard. It purports to be from the Harris campaign, thanking her for putting up a sign and alerting her a family from Nicaragua would be moving into her home.
That's when I realized it was an obvious attempt to try to either scare me or rage bait me and make me upset.
It's absolutely a scare tactic.
Suffolk.
I put a lawn sign in my front yard, and I don't think I should be subjected to these.
As the Dutch government, a guy called Rutte, the Prime Minister, completely owned by the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab, why has he just announced that the Netherlands, the second biggest exporter of food in the world, is targeting farmers to destroy them and get them off the land, which is where all these farming protests in the Netherlands have come from. At a time of food shortages and supply chain problems, you are targeting the second biggest exporter of food in the bloody world to destroy its farming base? Why are you doing that? If people depend on you for what's left of the food, you control them. Where food is abundant and cheap, you do not control them. Where energy is cheap and abundant, you do not control them. Scarcity equals dependency equals control. And that's why they're targeting the food chain, they're targeting the energy supply, they're targeting everything.
These fraudulent.
Rest in peace, Peanut the Squirrel.
Arms of the angel fly away from here, from this dark hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here.
They kill Peanut.
You don't stop. Never! Guys, stop it! Dig your nails in me! You guys, stop!
What was the Kardashians? Fighting like cats.
You guys, stop it!
Fighting like
Stop.
cats.
You're not doing
What is wrong with y'all girls? Well, she got her butthole touched last night.
each other. Are you guys okay? What on earth?
1 minute they're laughing, the next minute they're slapping each other. Like, what the is happening? This is crazy.
Whore. Okay, separate. No. You don't stop.
That's her mama.
Guys, stop it!
Is that
Dig
her
your
mama?
nails in me! You guys, stop!
Whoa! Whoa!
You guys, stop it!
Ooh!
Don't do that to each other!
Whole house full of whores. House full of whores.
What on earth?
They know what's coming. They was over at them Diddy parties. Not being able to function in a real work environment.
Who do you think is on the list? They're always late. Number 2, they lack professionalism. They have no ability to write a professional email or present themselves appropriate in a meeting. They spend all their time on their phone scrolling. They have
TikTok
challenges with feedback. They don't want to be criticized. They have no ability to attempt to solve a problem. They don't understand how to blend in with other people at the office. They're awkward. They can't work with a team. They dress unprofessionally. They can't manage their workload. They lack initiative. They don't seem to give a shit.
That's the Gen Z, folks. Is that Gen Z?
Bosses are quickly firing.
Glass over here, and I don't have a piece of glass there, and I have this piece of glass here, but all we have really over here is the fake news, right? And to get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news. And I don't mind that so much, 'cause I don't mind that. So I have a piece of glass here. And the problem with that glass is I don't look great on television when you have a 4-inch piece of glass that a howitzer can't go through. No, when you see yourself on television, you say, boy, you're really not very recognizable, to be honest with you, which is good. But here's the problem. So I have glass here, I have glass here. Now, I'm not worried about this. Look, what do I have? A couple of people, and they're friends, generally. There are a couple of people I don't like in that group, but that's like, no, but look at it. Look at it. I have nobody here. What do I need this piece? But where I think I do need a piece is here.
Genitals to a car.
Allegedly exposed himself to a family during road rage.
In a road rage incident. That wasn't you?
No.
Okay. So where'd you just come back from?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
That sounds like hearsay,
Which one down there? KFC down there in
Leesburg.
Oh, in Leesburg?
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't get into an incident with anybody?
No.
No? Okay. Well, they described you to a T.
Okay. What does this mean?
So I'm trying to figure out what actually happened. So I got one
Nothing
side.
happened.
I got one side of the story, and someone describing you perfectly to a T, along with your car and license plate.
When I'm out and about, my dad's in there. My dad's been with me all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the car with you, all on your way to KFC.
No.
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 So nothing happened. No road rage incident. Nothing like that.
No.
You don't remember anything like that.
No.
Okay. All right.
Tell him I got the wrong guy.
Well, yeah, you think so? Well, they described you wearing exactly what you're wearing, bald, no beard, and a red tattoo in his forearm.
Okay.
Police identify the man seen here as 56-year-old James Box, who allegedly exposed himself to a family after becoming enraged in traffic.
So that's you. So
okay,
I'm giving you another opportunity to explain yourself if you would like to.
There's nothing to explain. Why?
Okay. All right. Well, hang out here for a minute because I got to figure out what's going on. Okay? Because what you did is a misdemeanor. It's legal serious behavior, and okay. So
okay.
Hang out here. Don't go nowhere. Okay.
Do what you gotta do, brother.
Perfect. That works for say.
He threw like a crumbled up like foil ball, like probably like a wrapper. Like
He was doing this. He was this is what he was doing. Driving. He was sticking his head out the window, going deranged or on drugs, sticking his tongue out, yelling. It was just harrowing, man. I mean,
at what point in time did he expose himself?
So he pulls there, and I said, we've got to get his tag and call 911. So we pulled in, we tried to just get the tag, and that's when he got out of the car and started charging toward us first, physically. We then reversed a good 50 yards. He had closed the gap about halfway. That's when I started taking those pictures, and when he got around just the median there into the landscape, and that's where he stopped, pulled his pants all the way down, right there at our midnight. And then, after he did that, he went to his vehicle, and I saw this, and it wasn't until 20 minutes driving down the road, I said, did you see the way he went to his vehicle? And I was surprised most of my wife knows too. I said, yes, he definitely, if he didn't go to get a weapon, he wanted to give us the impression he was going to retrieve a weapon. He went back in and bent in and, looked menacingly. And that's when I said, I think I was still on the phone. I said, yeah, we were still on that one. And I said, that.
I'm from.
White liberal women spotted in the streets, and as a resident asks where they're from, turns out they just arrived from Washington, D.C.
DC. Okay. Well, welcome to Lancaster City. Let's help. I already voted 3 weeks ago.
Oh, great.
We're trying to get Trump back in the office.
How are you?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're on the other side, but
How do you feel about Doug Emhoff sleeping with the nanny?
I'm not gonna.
Oh, you're not going to bother?
Yeah, you as well. Enjoy Lancaster. Please don't ruin it. Do you guys mind me asking, where do you come from?
I'm from D.C., Washington, D.C. This is a song President Trump keeps walking out to rally. It's called Rest in Peace, the theme song from WWE's The Undertaker. What is The Undertaker? Undertaker is a person who prepares the deceased for burial. This is Kamala's stepdaughter. Most beautiful woman in the world.
It's endorsed by everybody in Hollywood, but Trump is the one with rich friends. Give me a fucking break.
Facts. You can't be racist to white people. Yeah, you can't be racist to white people.
Question for you. Yeah. How old were you when you became a millionaire?
17. Another thing I've seen all week. I see 17 right there. Oh, wearing 17. That's the Q thing. Trump on voter fraud and voter ID in Lancaster. They found 2,600 ballots, all done by the same exact hand, same pen, the same penmanship, the same everything. Then they try to say this is a conspiracy theory.
It's a terrible thing. And I tell you what, I love being off these stupid teleprompters because the truth comes out. The truth comes out.
Notice that 45-47 on the side of his hat. It ain't got a comma. It's 45 through 47. Submitted from South Minneapolis, Phillips West by Midtown Greenway. 4 individuals got out of a car and dumped trash in my driveway. They were all wearing ski masks. I suspect they stole the car. We're getting rid of everything. I called police, but they said I'd have to clean everything out of the city. I'd have to clean everything, or the city can give me a ticket that's like 30 needles that we don't want to touch. $30 needles. What's happening to Michelle Obama? Looks like her adrenochrome's run out. Everything's caught on camera. What is that up under the bed? They got some creepy videos on here. What's everybody wearing to the Civil War next week? Bulletproof vest.
No. I've got my glasses on.
There is a cat. Look very carefully. You can't see it?
No.
Look very carefully. And then you will see the cat.
I don't know.
You don't know? You sure?
Yeah.
What about you?
No. Look properly. I am. I can't see it.
You can't see it?
No.
Oh my god, it's so easy. Can you find the cat?
The cat?
Yeah.
Suspected serial shoplifter loses her pants.
Out of the car. Actually,
Serial shoplifter. Notice her color.
can you check? Can I check it now?
Give me the car keys.
Huh?
You're gonna give me the car keys. You're not getting back in the vehicle.
Okay, can you check it on? There you go.
You can hear it in her voice. She's nervous.
You're just being honest. We know who you are, right? Can you tell me your full name?
Shakira.
It's okay. Listen, ma'am. I just need you to relax.
Pull him up. She's gonna run.
I understand. Listen. I'm just gonna run this, okay? We've gotten a lot of complaints from this store about thefts, okay?
From you.
The
Stealing
vehicle
shit.
matches the description of the vehicle that's been constantly robbing this place, okay?
Robbing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you're robbing.
Listen. There's a couple things we have to verify first. You understand? All right. All right. So I just need you to take a deep breath. Calm down. Let me run this. I'll verify that it's you, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay?
Can I go back and pay for my stuff?
Just wait 1 second.
Go back and pay for my
ma'am,
stuff. That
if
ain't
nothing
how it
comes out
works.
of
You don't
this,
get to come out to
you're
your
free to
car.
go on your way.
You can leave your shit on the counter.
Why are you parked in a handicap spot?
Well, that's another ticket.
Parked.
That's another ticket.
What?
I just parked. I didn't even think.
You didn't think?
No.
You got any other kind of identification on you by chance? No, this is it?
That's all you get.
Because you understand this is an identification card, right? Same as driver's license.
It's identification card. Am I able to open the door?
10, so give us 20.
Am I
It's all about just...
so I can get my other ID?
Ma'am, we have to kind of ask you these questions first, okay? Because there's a lot of implications to what can and cannot happen, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's why we have to run our course and why we approach you the manner that we did, okay?
Okay.
All right? This is an identification card. This isn't a driver's license. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
You understand that it's an ID card, not a driver's license. And you drove here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you just
Well, I
see
didn't drive. I traveled.
You understand how none of this is making sense to us? You don't have a driver's license. You drove here. You parked in the handicap spot.
I apologize.
I mean, it's not something to apologize. We're just trying to understand the train of thought. You understand what I'm saying?
I was just trying to go in and out, and because I just
Redacted by police.
my outfits for my trip. That's it. I should have just ordered them. That's what I should have did.
Okay, well, I'm letting you know right now. At the moment, you're detained. Okay, you're not free to go.
Okay.
Right? I need you to understand that.
Okay.
Okay. Because if you had decided to start the vehicle and drive off, that's
Why would I drive off with y'all right here? I wasn't gonna drive.
because you were
off.
trying to get into the vehicle. You know what I mean?
You asked me to submit my ID.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But you don't have to sit inside the vehicle for that. You
Right.
know what I mean?
I wasn't gonna.
It's
I
okay.
wasn't
It's
gonna
okay.
drive
Just give us a second. All right.
But what am I being detained for?
Because we have an ongoing active investigation regarding the Lululemon, this vehicle that matches the exact same description.
But is this the exact same, like...
It's the vehicle.
It's the
It's the
vehicle.
vehicle in question.
You know it's the vehicle, bro.
Okay, but this not my vehicle. This is my...
I understand that.
Can y'all write my phone to me so I could call somebody then?
Just give us a second.
Nope.
Okay.
You're going to jail. Car's getting towed.
Huh? Like, 32. I'm not trying to be like, come on, sit down.
You can have a seat on the curb if you would like. Yeah.
Wait, so you can't sit down then, right?
Huh?
So you had that procedure done? Can you sit down?
Yeah, I could sit down, but like on like soft spot.
I just didn't know if you can, that's why.
Huh?
I didn't know if you can continue the procedure that time.
Yeah, but like how I sit is, I don't want to show you something.
Mike, are you going to be good out here? Can I go back in the store?
Yeah. You want to...
Yeah. Ma'am.
Yeah.
So...
They come out here. I'm being detained.
Yeah, that's right.
They doing the investigation. Yeah, they come out.
Okay. You're like bending over. I want to make sure you're okay.
Yo, yeah, that's up.
She's finna run.
What is the investigation for?
She's finna run. I thought we were gonna get to see her run.
What the hell is going on?
I don't even know. I left him for a bit. They were playing dress up, and when I came back, he had makeup smeared all over his face, and he was crying. I don't even know what happened. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, buddy. Hey, you want to tell me and Miss Maggie what happened? Hey, it's all right. Was it the same ones that pick on you? Were they over there? Listen to me, son. I know you don't want to hear this, but sometimes you gotta hit them back.
Eddie, they were bigger than me.
I know, son, but if you don't stand up for yourself now, those kids are never gonna leave you alone. Eddie.
They weren't kids.
What do you mean?
Okay, look at me, okay? Who did this to you, Sam?
It's okay, you can tell us.
Toby's dad.
What?
Toby's dad. Your friend, Daryl. He did it.
Half of the time, Justin Timberlake's a mean son of a bitch. You seen what he did to Britney Spears after she broke his heart?
Hey, Eddie. Hey, Eddie.
Eddie.
Where are you going?
Hey, don't do it!
You'll end up going to jail. You can't tell them nothing.
College wrestlers grateful to be alive.
Fights off a grizzly bear to save his friend's life. A college wrestler did.
And for each other after perhaps their toughest match.
Sounds like my Uncle Herbert.
Going toe-to-toe with a grizzly bear.
The bear came running out of the trees. I didn't even see it until it was right in front of me, but I heard the crashing. And the only thing I could yell was, "Bear, bear!" And I yelled bear, and the bear tackled me first.
Seeing his teammate being mauled, Cummings took the fight to the bear, yelling, punching, and grabbing it until the bear turned on him.
It knocked me onto the ground and then with its head pushed me on the ground all the way up against the trees and then kind of pinned me up there, and it was attacking me for a second.
Cummings airlifted to Billings Clinic Hospital, getting 60 staples in his head. Experts saying the outcome could have been much worse if they didn't have each other.
Bring him out there, buddy. Not many of y'all out there would jump in when your buddy's getting chewed up by a bear, a grizzly bear. That's some of the worst kind of bears there are. Why is this squirrel story so important? Because when the government will invade your home and kill your pets, it suddenly feels real to average Americans. It brings the horror of being under the boot of tyrants to life. This straw may be the one that breaks the back of tyrannical government overreach, and those who practice this evil, so be it. To liberty. Sic semper tyrannis. It's not okay for the government to barge into your home and kill your pets. What has become of the land of the free? We got a bunch of tyrants running us. That's what happened. You better be glad I ain't got no damn pet squirrel named Peanut. I'm sure it's been taken over by communists.
Law enforcement folks in Lake Lure, what resources are you getting from the state? And they said, we're being told every town's on it.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Howard. I was Air Force combat controller. Did that for about 12 years.
I'm Charlie Keebaugh, the Chief Development Officer at Aerial Recovery.
Hurricane Helene, I was with the State Guard. Charlie was with Aerial Recovery. We were working together side by side out there. Charlie was like, hey, do you want to come to North Carolina? Because that's when we were kind of hearing like what was going on. So once I saw the level of destruction, what was going on, Charlie was like, hey, you want to get in your plane and go up there tomorrow? And I was like, yes. So we landed, and this random kind of like young dude, I'd probably say like mid-20s, he just came up to us. He was like, hey, do you guys need like a ground-to-air radio? And I was kind of like, yeah, I'm a controller. I could definitely use that radio. He's like, yeah, like, here's a radio. I was just kind of like, it's just kind of weird.
Who gives the radio away?
This is like a $400 radio. He's just like, here's a radio. I don't need it. And I was just like, okay. We started talking to him, like telling him who we were. We needed a helicopter ride. Right. And he was like, oh, let me see if I can find you guys a helicopter ride. So Zed come up to us, and he was like, heard you guys need a helicopter ride. We're like, yeah. And he's like, okay, I'll be back in an hour and a half. I got to fly these guys, I'll come back. And that's literally how that connection was made.
Everything was great. Everything was positive. Jeremy actually had a call with Robert F. Kennedy, his wife, and RFK himself, with the mayor of those towns. And then they came and picked John and I up at the airport, at the airfield, and we drove out to to Chimney Rock in Lake Lure, and got stopped by a cop at the checkpoint.
This is where it gets crazy. Good.
And we're in a truck. We're in a white Chevy with big Aerial Recovery and Trackhouse logos all over the side of it. And so we get the first checkpoint, and the cop sees the vehicle and says, "Oh, Aerial Recovery, hold on. I've been told to watch out for you guys." And so we sit there, and then the police captain comes up and says the same thing. So I take my phone out, turn my video camera on. They quickly let us by. That police captain actually drove us to the next checkpoint.
Why'd you pull your camera?
Because I knew what they were doing. I knew they were saying that. By this time, I had kind of heard of a little bit of a turf war going on. Our team that was already in place had a little bit of a rift with the Michigan task force.
So I started talking to the deputies, because they were like my age. They were cool guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do they have you guys doing? Are you guys doing like search and recovery, knocking on doors, making sure people are okay? And he's like, man, we want to. The only thing we can do is stand right here at this checkpoint. And there was 8 of them at that one checkpoint on a single lane road. And I was like, what do you mean you're just standing here? He's like, that's all we can do is stand here on this one lane road. And this is in Lake Lure. This is like kind of like ground zero for all the destruction. There was so much for these guys, and they wanted to go work. They were like we want to, but we can't.
And, you know, we didn't get anything done that day because when the sun goes down at 7 p.m., they want everybody out of town. The little bit of work that we did get done there on the ground on that day was to go search a neighborhood that they had already searched
the day before,
and find a woman in her house, you know, very, very poor condition mentally, not going to make it. I don't know if they went and did door-to-door searches or not, but like she clearly had no place still being there.
She was smoking a cigarette that wasn't lit.
Yeah.
She thought it was lit. She was literally like smoking the cigarette and it was even lit. Like she was just so delusionally.
Yeah. We didn't leave her.
No, we
saw
her out.
As soon as one of our guys made contact with her, he would not leave.
Yeah.
So it was very apparent.
Asheville had all the supplies you could think of, but when you go to these small towns, and they had nothing, like nothing. There was even a place we went to on day 6. We were the first people to make contact with them on day 6. I could not believe it. I was like, no one else has been out here? And they were like, no.
Well, the roads are gone.
Right.
The roads are gone. You can only get to places by air.
Our very first rescue mission was actually a premature baby.
Save Our Allies shared a request with us, and had a phone number attached to it. So I called the phone number. It was the grandmother that answered the phone, Lisa, and gave us the whole scenario of what was going on. You know, 11-day-old baby, was born premature, only 4 days out of the hospital. Mom's not doing well either. Baby's, you know, somewhat unresponsive.
This is the first mission we're ever doing with this civilian helicopter. So I'm talking to the pilot, getting to know his background. Hey, are you a military, like former military helicopter pilot? And he's like, I fly Gulfstreams around the world. I mean, he's helicopter's licensed, but he's landing at like nice airfields. And he's like, I've never landed in a field, like an open field like this. So I'm like talking to him like, well, we got power lines here on this side of the road. We got power lines on this side of the road. It's not a flat terrain. Like I'm trying to talk him into this. And he's like, all right, we're just going to kind of figure it out. We land out there in the field. A bunch of my SMU guys, the Special Mission Unit guys that were out there, our paramedic Paul and Byron, they come running out with the baby in a little car seat holder, and they have the mom and grandma, and we get them loaded into the helicopter. We take off from there. I should say this, when Paul got to the baby was actually blue. Like the skin was blue because it just wasn't breathing very good. From the field, we flew out to Mission Hospital in Asheville. Charlie was coordinating with the hospital and getting them on the phone because our frequencies weren't working with the helicopter. Kind of same scenario. We're flying up to this hospital. It's very windy. There's a little bit of rain. And the pilot, there's a helicopter landing pad on top of the roof of the helicopter. And I'm like, well, Mark, that's where you got to land. And he's like, well, find me something on the ground. And I see 2 more HLZs on the ground, but there's 2 helicopters on them. So I was like, the only place you can go is on that roof. And he's like, I've never landed on a roof. And he's kind of nervous about it. I'm just like, all right, Mark, like, just got to get that thing down. And I'm looking at the windsock on top of the hospital, and it was a direct 90-degree crosswind on the pad. So as we were coming in, like the wind was just kind of picking us, it was moving us. And it was probably about 3 feet before we hit the ground. I was calling out like 3 feet, 2 feet. I thought he was actually going to like abort the landing and take off because the wind was like pushing us kind of toward the like we were going to go over the pad and fall off the building. Shit. And then he kind of like backed it up, and then he just kind of like just dropped it on top of the helipad. And I was like, phew. Me and him jumped out. We rushed that baby inside, and there was like I think 2 doctors, 3 nurses, and they were there to that baby. And man, it was like the biggest relief I've ever felt in my life. Like it was just like the emotions were just like starting to hit me, and it was wild. I'm not
crazy that our government ain't helping up there.
It's a watershed moment for Palestine, for justice and for international law. Israel's occupation has been declared unlawful by the World Court, which has stipulated that it must be terminated completely and as rapidly as possible. The court also found that illegal Israeli occupation violates the UN Charter, human rights and international humanitarian law. The court further unequivocally declared that all Israeli settlements in the occupied Palestinian territory are illegal and must be dismantled, and that all Israeli settlers must be evacuated. The court declared that Israeli illegal occupation not only violates but eviscerates the Palestinian people's right to self-determination in their own land, including the right to their own state. This ruling couldn't be more timely or sorely needed. The Palestinian people have endured unbearable suffering and injustice for decades. This ruling is a vindication of their steadfastness and perseverance. This right must no longer be denied or deferred. The court made clear that the Palestinian people are the only sovereign in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, and that the international community is under an obligation not just to reaffirm the Palestinian people's right to self-determination, but to see to it that this right is implemented immediately. All states and the UN are now under obligation not to recognize the legality of Israel's presence in the occupied Palestinian territory.
Get out. All right there, fellas. I'm finna go to the house. We appreciate y'all being over here. Thanks for stopping by. We will see you when we're going to see them, Jamie. Later.
No, hey, can you close the door?
Hi.
Just close the door.
Well, why didn't you close the door?
Because I didn't think you'd come over here.
You wanted me to find you like this.
No.
Oh, well, here I
I
am.
don't know if you can tell, but this is very uncomfortable for me.
Well, how's it going?
I'm shitting as we speak.
Oh, great. I'll get comfortable. This is nice.
Holy fucking shit.
I feel like we should do this more often.
I'm so fucking vulnerable right now.
Now that I have you, I feel like you should look at that video I sent you earlier that you never responded to.
And his Howard parties, where a lot of AKAs attended.